Welcome back to Living 808. And varicose veins are an issue for millions of Americans.
But they don't have to be. We checked in at the Vein and Skin Center of Hawaii to find out the latest treatment options. On Living 808, we want to show you around Hawaii the latest and greatest treatments for all types of ailments. And today we're talking about veins at the Vein and Skin Center of Hawaii with Dr. Woody Chung. Thanks for having us in.
Thanks for coming by.
All right, we want to talk about varicose veins. This is a problem that a lot of people deal with.
Yes. Well, varicose veins do occur in a majority of the population. Patients aren't aware that it can be a medical condition, and so patients that start to notice more veins or even symptoms, which are typically like aching, cramping, or even like swelling, they usually come in for evaluation. And at that point, we decide to, after a consultation, then we decide to do an ultrasound to evaluate if the veins are circulating properly, and if not, then, and there is a medical issue, then we want to correct that problem.
So it could be a medical issue or simply a cosmetic thing, someone not happy with the way the veins look.
Correct. So typically patients that do come in they're either having really big bulging varicose veins, or they may just have some spider veins, or they may have a combination. And so at that point, after the consultation, we can kind of address all those issues. And depending on what we need to do, obviously varicose veins or symptomatic pain in their legs and associated with swelling in their legs can be covered by insurance.
What types of options are there for people who want to deal with this?
Nowadays, surgery is really not the best option. The best option in the last over 10 years now is doing something minimally invasive, which for us we've been doing since 2007, using a laser to get rid of the problem that's causing the varicosities. And so then that and some other novel techniques where we do injections for spider veins as well as some other veins allow us to treat the patient in the office rather than in the hospital with very minimal downtime.
Is it something that can be done in one treatment, or does it depend on the severity of the issue?
Yes, it does depend on the severity of the issue. Most often, medical treatments can be done in one visit. Typically, the cosmetic injections or sclerotherapy for spider veins, that can be more than one treatment.
Okay, we know a lot of people are dealing with varicose veins. Is there a type of checklist that they should go through if they're looking for treatment?
Yes, obviously, if there is pain associated with varicose veins, swelling, if they are having really difficulty with that it's affecting their work and their daily activities, they would definitely need to kind of consult with a vein specialist in order to determine whether or not it is vein-related symptoms.
And how about picking the right person to treat it for you?
Yes, exactly. So for us, we've been around for more than 10 years, but I am board certified in the practice of vein treatment. I'm also certified in doing ultrasonography. And so patients should be looking for a doctor that has done the rigorous training as well as done many procedures and have had experience taking care of patients with various type of vein symptoms and vein problems. Because not everything is the same. Not every patient has identical symptoms. So we have to kind of go through the evaluation and do an appropriate workup.
Great advice, and we see the dramatic results. Dr. Chung, thank you for talking with us, and go get your treatment for varicose veins. Yeah, it really is amazing what they can do now in minimally invasive, non-invasive, and to deal with this, because this is something that, like we said, millions of people have, and it can cause some health problems instead of just being a visual issue too.
Yes, and definitely just good work that's going on there.
Well, we have a lot of stuff coming up. Sam Choi and John Veneri yet again raided another family's fridge looking for leftovers, turning them into something new and exciting to save money and prevent throwing out food.